In continuing coverage tonight, crews in Northwest Portland are making good progress on the demolition of the Centennial Mills building. The city has now reopened Naito Parkway between 9th and 15th Avenues. A new update from the city, however, says that it could take crews at least 2 more weeks to clean up the debris at the site of the historic warehouse. Fields Park also remains closed until experts can determine whether the area is free of debris and other hazards. Portland Fire says once the debris is removed, investigators will have access to areas which might reveal the cause of the fire and whether there are human remains within the belly of the structure.